Sick. Ooh, that was so snug today. Hi everyone. Hello. I know it's like super late or whatever, but I just wanted to come live really quick just to see how these two decks interact with each other and if they will. I have a feeling like they should, but it's a theory. Also, I found the Queen of Wands. If anyone was concerned, she was literally right in front of my face. Don't know why I kept overlooking her. But I was like, oh, she's like literally right there. I hope everyone's doing well. I decided to take advantage of my sleeping schedule, and I actually started doing some stuff fairly early in the morning last night. And then I did some more stuff, and now, again, we're just going to see what comes out, if anything comes out. Ooh, Wheel of Fortune with the Tower. Fortunate new beginnings. I feel that energy. Three of Pentacles with the Wheel of Fortune. It's magic. Justice in the Three of Pentacles. You know. I want to get this one first, and then we'll see. We'll just see what's up, if anything wants to come out. Hopefully this is fairly short. I'm going to get me some good sleep. I've been sleeping better and better, I think. There's the Three of Pentacles at the cut with the Seeker of Pentacles, which is the Page of Pentacles. Wisdom being the key to moving forward. And then there's the Star, right? Or is that the Moon? No, it's the Star. Then there's the Star with the Three of Pentacles. All right. I'm loving that energy. Okay. We'll see. Oh, no. Paint a picture for me. So again, this deck is all about limitation. And then the other deck is about freeing ourselves from limitation. It's almost about seeing exits in sticky situations. And then this deck is the sticky situation. So we'll just see what comes up. We'll just see what comes up. We will just see what comes up. Wait. Okay. I've been a little naughty. Or a lot. I've been kind of dipping into my travel funds a little bit. It's fine because it's about to get replaced and be even stronger here fairly soon. But I ordered something that I've been wanting for a really, 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 really long time. And I got on Amazon, and it was like, if you place the order within 23 minutes, it'll be here tomorrow. And I couldn't resist, and I ended up getting one that's a little bit more expensive than the other ones, but I also really like the design. So I still looked at it. I was like, because it's only a day. I can wait until Saturday. It's not that big of a deal. But then I looked at the design as compared to the other ones, and I was like, you know what? I like this one. And it's been since like 2016. There was this, not necessarily a metaphysical store, but kind of sort of metaphysical. It was a metaphysical-ish store in the mall. And they had a few of these and some other things. And every time I go into the store, every time I see one of these things, I play with them. And so, you know, I just went ahead and got it. So I can't wait for it to come in. There's some other stuff I need to remember to do tomorrow. I'm sure I won't forget, but I'm just going to make sure it's in my calendar because let's go. Yeah, I'm just going to make sure it's in my calendar really quick because I really thought I put it in here. Girl, what? Are you serious? Oh, wait. It says 2 reminders right here, but 0 reminders when I actually come in. I'm going to set that reminder right now. Right the freak now. Because I am not going to forget it. And while it's on my mind, I'm going to just make sure I do this. I'll change the time. There we go. It's magic, you know. So, it's magic. There we go. Done. All right. All right. Oh, snap. Hey, Casey. How you doing? I don't know how long you've been there. Oh, like 2 minutes. I'm so bad. How you doing tonight, Casey? It is quite, oh, sure. Quite the evening it is. Quite the evening it is. How many cards we got? Oh, only 2. Okay. Oh. Oh, wow. This is interesting. This is really, really, really interesting. I'm not going to separate these. So I'm just going to pull some of these face down and we'll see what it gives us. It's 1 a.m. Yeah, it's only, I was going to say noon. It's midnight over here. So low key, I took a nap. I just woke up. I'm like, hey Siri, what time does Wendy's close? And Siri is like, Wendy's closes at midnight. And it was like 11:20. I was like, oh, work. Like, I'm about to pull up real quick and get a little bit of food. And then I asked my brother, I was like, hey, you want some Wendy's? And he was like, yeah, sure, I'll go. So we went out there. We pull up at 11:32. They had 28 minutes before they closed. And they go, we're closed. I'm sorry. I said, okay. But I'm like, what? Y'all still got 28 minutes. Like, all I wanted was some French fries and some chicken nuggets. But it's fine. It's noon somewhere. True. Let's find a place where it's noon. That's about 12 hours ahead. I know France is 7 hours ahead. And Australia is like 17 hours ahead. Japan is like 14 hours ahead. So let's go for Moscow. Hey Siri, what time is it in Russia?
It's 8:09 a.m.
Oh, it's still Russia. Hey Siri, what time is it in Beijing?
In Beijing, China mainland, it's 1:09 p.m.
Oh, man, okay. What's between Russia and China, Casey? No, they were just like, we're close. I don't think they was like, you know, it's close enough to closing time where we just gonna chillax. Oh, girl, we gonna have to talk. What's oh wait. Oh, well, because that's Russia. Oh, wait, is Moscow on the Europe side of Russia or the Asia side of Russia? Hey Siri, what time is it in Nepal.
It's 12:10 a.m.
Girl, not you. Darn it. Thinking Nepal. Bangkok. Babcock. India. I think India is like 7 or 8 hours. Hey Siri, what time is it in Calcutta?
In Kolkata, India, it's 10:40 a.m.
Yeah, they're 10 and a half hours ahead. So this is so interesting. Hey Siri, what time is it in Bangkok?
It's 12 p.m. in Bangkok, Thailand.
There you go. You got it, Casey. In Bangkok, Thailand, it is 12:10 p.m. I was thinking Sweden. Hey Siri, what time is it in Sweden? But if it's 10 in India, it's probably
in Stockholm, Sweden.
Yeah, they only 7 hours ahead. Bangkok, it is noon 10 in Bangkok right now. What else is over there? Laos, Cambodia, other nations such as. Well, if it's then maybe in Nepal it is, because I was thinking Nepal maybe. Hey Siri, what time is it in Nepal?
It's 10:56 a.m. in Kathmandu, Nepal.
No. You got it, Casey. 1:11 on the 11th. Oh, snap. That means something. It's 12:11 over here, which means that it's probably 12:12 now. Nope, still 12:11. Da 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 da. Okay. Let's get some CARDS. So, how do we get out of this? So the cards that came out, it's the Star and the Hermit, which is interesting because inside of the lantern of the Hermit is the star. And it's almost like we can't, nope, you ain't face down, so I'm not going to take you. The Page of Wands and the Eight of Wands. Oh, snap. Oh, snap. Is this a grasshopper? I think it's a grasshopper. Maybe, maybe not. It's some kind of bug. We got that unicorn. Page of Wands and the Eight of Wands. With the, who this? Who are you? Oh, with strength. With strength at the bottom of the deck. This is cute. Little lion with a crown. With a crown. Lion with a crown. What you say, Casey? Means it's time for bed, right? Oh, snap. 12:12. I'm going to put it up so y'all can see. Oh, it's 12:13 now. I saw it on my laptop, though. Well, I didn't see it on my laptop, actually, because my laptop says 1:13. It feels like there's low-key this really interesting energy about the Mars retrograde, because it almost feels like when things are slowing down, it's the time to really move. Almost. And at first I was over here like, oh, well, it's the retrograde, so what did you do the first time? But maybe it's about, like, the first time around there were things that we knew we could have done or should have done that maybe we didn't do, but now it's the time where everything is slowing down to be a little bit more, there we go, thoughtful. Bottom of the deck is the Two of Cups with the two seahorses. Aww. With a red solo cup, seahorse turn up. Hey. What's at the bottom of the deck over here? I love the Two of Cups for these, though. Oh, the Six of Cups is at the bottom of the deck over here. So there we go. Well, you can see the watch, the clock. Tick tack on the clock, but the party don't stop. No. Thank you, Casey. Everyone is so uptight at work. I feel like there's a tightening going through the collective right now. Honestly, it feels fairly heavy. I am not gonna lie, and I feel like I'm starting to see it a little bit. But it's so interesting because it's such a huge contrast to like the space that I'm in and the experience that I'm having. But again, it's just like, if I could sum it up, honestly, it's time to grow up. That's what it feels like in every situation that I've seen in the periphery of my own personal life. It's just like, it's time to grow up. But okay. Oh, Casey, you're so nice. But also, you should probably go to sleep. I will be unentertaining and boring until you go to sleep. I'll speak in a monotone voice until you go to sleep. Close your eyes and sleep. Dream sweet dreams of the new world soon to be. All right. Thanks again for the deck, Casey, and good night. It's always so fun. Excuse me. I'm actually gonna get me. Oh, I was gonna get a water, but I don't want to be up going to the bathroom all night. You're the best. 1 second, y'all. We gonna have to talk. 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 I'm so lame sometimes. I love it, honestly. So the star and the hermit are the limitation, and it's interesting because it's almost like because you don't know yourself, you can't know anyone else, or because you don't know yourself, it's impossible to know anyone else, or because you can't see yourself, you can't see anyone else, or something like that. But there's something here about authenticity. Well, let's just go looking for the sun real quick. Let's go looking for the sun. Let's go looking for the sun. There's the moon right behind the two of cups. And the devil. Oh my gosh. I'm so over devil energy. But honestly, it's like I've gotten to see how much I've really progressed. And it's just interesting. I guess I say that I'm over it, and I am. But at the same time, it's like it's not like I'm gonna stop doing whatever it is that I'm doing. The sun is red. I've seen that card before. I know that. So, oh, it's root. I haven't read into the colors on these cards, which is interesting, y'all. You would think that I would, but I haven't. There's that Ten of Wands, right? It's just like when you're no longer afraid of the things that you used to be afraid of, intimidated by the things that you used to be intimidated by. Oh, snap. We saw that card yesterday. We've seen these cards before. We got Temperance and the Chariot outside of this window. So it's almost this thing about waiting for the right time to strike with Temperance and the Chariot, but it's also about sort of making sure that we're moving on the right things. So we have Judgment and Just. I'm shook. Justice is a bat, y'all. Why didn't y'all tell me Justice was a bat? I'm up here like Justice is an owl. That's a full-on bat. That's a full-on bat. Justice is a bat. What the? What? What? Was it Pile 2 that got Justice the other day? I don't remember. It's a bat, which is interesting. And then there's this sun in the judgment card. Oh, well, I don't think bats eat rats. We're rhyming today. I think owls might, maybe, but I don't think bats do. Are rats, what do you call something that's both nocturnal and diurnal? Because I think rats are like night and day active, but they gotta sleep at some point, right? Let's ask Siri. Hey Siri, are rats nocturnal?
According to nytimes.com, as it turns out, rats are nocturnal and mongooses are diurnal.
Why are we talking about mongoose? Where did the mongooses come in? So rats are nocturnal. Okay, that's what I thought. But you can see a rat in the daytime. No, they do really come out at night. They do. Because that's when people are asleep, right? That's when they have free roam of the house and they can, like, eat the leftovers and make sure nothing's wasted. It's almost, hear me out, almost like a, what's the word? Carrion is the bird, a decomposer. It's almost like a decomposer, but it's like a decomposer of the modern day, right? It's like in the homes, right? Where the buzzards and the vultures and the funguses would be out in the wild, and the flies, like they would be out in nature, but it's like the rats are in the home. And so maybe with this judgment card, there are things within the home that need to be brought to balance, things that have been lying in the dark for a long time, things that need to be spoken, right? Because that's how bats navigate. It isn't necessarily through word, but it's through sound and echolocation, sonar, echolocation. And if rats are so, because we're talking about mongooses, we got to talk about snakes. Because mongooses fight snakes, they eat snakes or something. And it's interesting because usually we see a bird with the snake, and that sort of like order coming in to root out chaos, right? There's something about divinity overcoming the less than divine when the bird eats the snake. But we're dealing with mongooses, and they are diurnal, so they're associated with sun and solar activities. Okay, all right. I think I'm getting somewhere, and it has something to do with this bat. I still don't know why they brought up mongooses when I asked about rats, but mongooses eat snakes in the daytime, but this is happening at night. But it's not happening at night. Is this? It looks like a sun to me. Moons don't put out rays like that. When you draw a moon, you don't draw it like that. Now that could be a full moon, and we just had a full moon in Pisces. Ain't no Pisces energy on the table. Well, it is Virgo season, and the Hermit is the Virgo card. So technically, actually, I'm gonna see something real quick. I'm gonna try to see when the new moon is, if the new moon is in the daytime or if it's at night. And people keep talking about this moon being a super moon, but I'm like, it's a new moon. We ain't even gonna be able to see it. What does it matter if it's a super moon or not? We ain't gonna be able to see it. Um, it's supposed to be new on about the, what's 2 plus 12? 14? I thought it was like the 17th. What's happening on the 17th? I don't know. We'll see. We'll just go here and see. Where the moon at? Where the moon at? Where the moon at? Okay, so the moon is in Virgo. So it is actually going to happen at night, at least my time. So let's advance the clock. Well, actually, let's go to 11:24 a.m. Yeah, that's a little bit further. Oh, we may be cutting it close, y'all. Let's go to 8:24. Okay, so the sun may actually be out. 7:24. Oh, maybe not. It looks like it might be happening around dawn, around the time that the sun comes up. It's looking like it may be happening around there. Yeah, so at about 7 o'clock a.m. Eastern Time, US, it looks like it's going to be that exact conjunction. Oh my gosh. Yeah, 7 o'clock a.m., 25 degrees, 0 minutes for both of them. Look at that. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. Oh, come on. You see that? 25 degrees, 0 minutes for both of them in Virgo. That's 7 o'clock Eastern. So that's around the time where the sun is rising. Maybe. I don't know. What time is the sun rising right now? Anybody know? Oh, snap. Ericsonia. Hello, best friend. I don't know when you said that. Did you really say that like 3 minutes, 4 minutes ago? I'm so bad. Okay, I know you like snakes, but snakes are bad. I'm just playing. Snakes serve their purposes, but we're talking about snakes getting eaten, so if you like a snake, it may not necessarily be. Um, but honestly, again, it's kind of sort of that rat energy. That's like it's all about cleaning things up, and so whenever, because a snake sheds its skin, right? And that's how it grows and evolves and changes. And it's almost like when the snake doesn't shed its skin, that's when it encounters the mongoose or the bird in this case. And snakes actually eat rats and mice. People feed mice to snakes. Oh, we were talking about the owl, and the owl came out today. Not the owl, the fox. We were talking about the foxes, and the fox came out today in the Two of Pentacles when I uploaded that short little video. And I was talking about how the foxes are turning themselves into mice to lure the snakes out of the grass. And then here's the rat on Judgment Day. Ooh, with justice. Something is going to be coming to the light. As soon as the sun peeks its head over the clouds, it's showtime. An actress ain't got coins for cabs. That's why I paint for Subway dads. Shout out to Alexis Michelle. When Clat first came out, CLAT, Club Legend Art Theater, it was so, everybody was hating on Alexis Michelle. And at first, her verse seemed kind of sort of out of place in the song. But I've listened to it recently and I think I actually like it. I think it may have become my favorite, low key, a little bit. Anyway, so what is this saying when it comes to this? Now, the reason why I went looking for the sun is because the sun is all about us shining in our authenticity, right? And then we have the hermit and the star. Oh, wait, this could be being guided. Oh, well, he is the sun. Oh my gosh, this just turned into the second coming of Jesus. Because the wise men followed the star to find the sun, the SON, right? Also, I said, brought forth on this continent a new nation conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. That's the Gettysburg Address, not the preamble. But since I didn't start with 7 years ago, I couldn't remember that it was the Gettysburg Address. And it literally just popped into my head like yesterday, maybe. I was like, oh my gosh, that was the Gettysburg Address. "407 years ago, our forefathers brought forth on this continent a new nation dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal." And it was said that they didn't even get a picture of Abraham Lincoln giving the speech because they thought his speech would be a lot longer than it actually was. And so his speech was done and over, and he was off the stage before the cameraman was even ready. And it's like, well, if you know he about to get up there, why ain't you ready? Just like today, I was running around with my mama. It was me, my mom, and my grandma in the car. And my grandma was like, "Hey, can y'all like take me by the bank because I gotta pay a dude?" And my mom was like, "Why didn't like did you not know he was coming today?" She was like, "Yeah, he said he might be here today. He said he would be here today if nothing else comes up." And nothing else came up, so he was there today. And my mom was like, "Well, if you knew that it was a possibility that he'd be here today, like why weren't you already ready?" Right? So there is something here kind of sort of running in the background about missing it. Or there's also something about timing. Now, I realized that I've been a little bit of a booty hole, a lot of it like anal retentive, and I can be anal retentive about a lot of stuff. I do my best. I say I ain't got no Virgo in my chart, but my Earth is in Virgo, so I do my best to suppress it. Because I'm just like, Patrick, it really isn't that big of a deal. But it's like, if we don't look up if we don't look at the transits, right? Let's say that, and the energy kind of sort of holds for a minute anyway. So it isn't necessarily exactly that moment. But it's like when the full moon was on the 12th. But like if all you heard is like, oh, full moon on September 2nd, sorry, it was on the 2nd. Actually, in some places in America, it was on the 1st. And so if you waited until the night of the 2nd, again, those energies are still there, but it was actually at its zenith about 24 hours prior. And there's something here again about, it's like the window is still open. The window isn't closed, but at its most potent, if you're not ready, then you kind of sort of miss it. And you don't miss it. We don't miss it. But there is an energy of like thinking that you have more time, but also at the same time knowing that you should be doing whatever it is that you should be doing in that moment. So now we come back to this. This could be so many things, y'all, and I was not trying to be live for an hour. But it's like, so there's the one story of the wise men following the star to find Jesus. One of them brought frankincense, one of them brought myrrh, or did one of them bring frankincense and myrrh? I don't remember what they brought. Um, I wonder what Emmanuel means, because El is like God. And it's interesting how so many angel names end in the EL, right? But it's almost like this hermit's lantern is busted. Because this deck is all about limitation. And so that's why it kind of sort of defaults to the shadow side of the energy, because that's what this deck is. It's about limitation. And they did both come out in reverse because I had the deck in reverse, but still. And the Six of Cups. If this is my mother. Oh, what is my? Oh, it's 12:34. Oh snap! It's 12:34. 12:30. Oh, 12:34. 12:34. If you do anything with that number, make a wish. Even though it's saying 43:21. Why is my grandmother up this late? Speak of my grandmother, her ear must have been burning. That's what they say, right? Is there actually a star in the Six of Cups in this deck? No, it's just the clock. Tick tock on the clock, but the party don't stop. No. Oh, oh, oh. I haven't listened to Kesha in a minute. I might do that. There's this one song that she did that blew my mind because that was like I had never heard her like not auto-tuned and like super like heavily synthesized at that point. But I think it's called Goodbye or This Is Goodbye. I'm trying to see if there's a line in that song that's speaking to me. Okay, it kind of sort of is a little bit. I'm gonna look at the lyrics. But she's like, I found a way to close the door. I thought you meant or we meant so much more, but I found you once. You're lost again. 2,000 miles took what could have been. I don't want to. I won't let myself. I have to realize that this might be, this could be, this is goodbye. And with the Six of Cups at the bottom of the deck, I'm gonna sort of go off of that energy because it's again, it's a little bit nostalgic. Following lost stars is something that somebody would say all the time. And honestly, if I'm being completely honest, I've been engaging with some creators a little bit more here lately. Um, and as I've been doing that, I've been reading the comments a little bit more than usual. And I've been finding, like, I understand it. But I've been like, there's so much going on in the world right now and in everyone's personal life right now because, I mean, judgment and justice, both of these are twos, by the way. So now we got to go looking for the High Priestess, and the Two of Cups is at the bottom of the deck. We got to go looking for the High Priestess because she's the only two that's not on the table. But people will be like, oh, like, I've been waiting for you to post. I need your guidance. Or like, oh, like, we've been lost without you or something like that. And to me, it just makes me cringe because I don't want nobody dependent on me like that. I've seen the High Priestess before. I know what she looks like. She was one of the first cards that came out. What she look like, y'all? Do y'all remember? Oh, yeah, okay. I don't remember exactly. There's the Empress. But I know that there's like a moon and some other stuff on the cards. And then she said, I can't believe how unfair life is sometimes. That part of the song just popped into my mind. Which is like, I can't believe how unfair life is sometimes. The Seven of Wands and the Queen of Swords. She almost looked like the Queen of Wands, but maybe she don't. I actually saw the Queen of Swords lately. Maybe that's why she looks so familiar. What was I talking about, y'all? I need to focus. Focus, pocus. Oops. So it's coming out with the Nine of Pentacles and the Ten of Wands for this High Priestess, which is interesting. So, a deer, a female deer, right? Okay, I need to wrap this up because my brain is starting to go to all kinds of places because it's getting late. So the Nine of Pentacles, the Ten of Wands around this High Priestess, which is interesting. And so we're actually going to do a little bit of this. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. Hold up, wait, no. How do I want to do this? Let's move this back up here. Because I want to put it on the twos. I want to put all the twos. I want to make sure that they're touching each other. And so I'll put this here, and then I'll put these down here. Nice. Okay. So the high priestess is coming out to tell us that again, and the colors are similar to this, and now we have a moon where there's a sun here. And then there's this new moon daybreak type energy. Um, that's interesting. So this Virgo new moon, and some, I mean, I guess in some places of the world it's always like that. But on the app I use, it's on the Eastern time zone, right? It's coded to that time zone because that's where I was when I downloaded it, and I never changed it, just like I didn't change my laptop. Okay. But anyway, it was meant for me to see that it's happening at daybreak. It's happening at dawn. So it's almost like the sun is going to be rising in an area that it hasn't risen in a long time. And we've got a few weeks until this happens. Um, but with the Nine of Pentacles, it's like, with the Nine of Pentacles, with this High Priestess, it's almost this feeling of, because there's this elephant here, and it's a blue elephant. Elephants give me Ganesha energy, which is all about overcoming obstacles. But this elephant is blue, and it reminds me of Oswald. Maybe because I need to go to sleep. But Oswald, he had that little black top hat. Y'all know Oswald the octopus with his wiener dog. I can't remember the wiener dog's name. Oswald was cool. I might watch Oswald tomorrow. But it's almost like a circus elephant. All eyes on me in the center of the ring. Don't stand there watching me. Follow me. Show me what you can do. Right? Judgment. Show me what you can do. Justice. Maybe not. I'm going to try to reel it in, y'all. I'm sorry. Okay. Oh, goodness. It's already been 42 minutes. All right. Something about this high priestess is like, I feel like it's getting to the point where being strong is, it's almost like we're reaching the end of our rope because it's about coming into a different sort of strength. I feel like there was a strength for a long time that we had that was super self-sufficient. Every time I see the Nine of Pentacles now, it's an amazing energy, but it just feels like it's time to be a little bit more vulnerable, and it's time to be a little bit more open. Um, and I mean, this circus elephant is juggling these 9 pentacles. Now, 4 of these pentacles are lost because they're too far down. Well, I guess the elephant could kick them back up, so they're not completely lost, but at least a good 3 of these are like all the way down here. If the elephant wanted, but it's more focused on these. On these 2 pentacles, the one in its hand and the one right in front of it. And the 2 of pentacles is a juggling energy. There's 7 more pentacles that are just going to hit the ground. And then we have the 10 of wands here, which is overburdened. So maybe a little bit too materially focused. Maybe, potentially. But it's like, I feel like this high priestess energy is like, being strong in the past may have meant being an island. It may have meant being self-sufficient and not needing anybody and not relying or counting on anyone. But as we move into a more sort of collective energy, a more interconnected energy, it's almost like it's going to reach the point where it's okay to trust people. And with this 10 of wands, it's almost like we need to let go of that island mentality, right? They say no man is an island. But then there's that Simon and Garfunkel song, I Am a Rock, I Am an Island. And I only know that Simon and Garfunkel song because I think my 12th grade, was it rhetoric? My English teacher, the English teacher, best friend. Oh my gosh, I loved her so much. She would curse us out in Shakespeare. And like Hamlet, it was that one line. She was like, I hope that something, something, something happens and makes you It's like inch by inch a meal for the inchworm or something like that. I think it was from Hamlet when it was talking about worms coming to decompose somebody's dead body. Also, in that class, one day we had a substitute teacher, and this substitute teacher was old. She was old, y'all, and somebody got her with the oldest trick in the book, and she did not get it. She passed around an attendance sheet, and there was this one class clown dude who was actually super smart, question mark. Because there was one time he did like really, really well on something. And everybody was like, whoa, oh my gosh, like what? But like he never really showed that side of himself. But anyway, so on the attendance sheet, he wrote last name Dover, first name Ben. And so for some reason, I think we had the same substitute teacher for multiple days. Maybe. Because she passed around a sheet for us to write our names on. And then she read the sheet out loud. And when it came to last name Dover, first name Ben, she was like, Ben Dover. And my immature little brain I could not hold in the laughter. So I just bust out laughing because she's like, bend over is bend over in the room. And everybody else was doing a good job of not laughing. But once I released the floodgate, everybody was laughing. And I'm like, I can't believe she just said that. And she just kept reading it. And I don't think she got it. But that's one of the funniest moments from my whole educational career. Why did I bring her up? Her name is Garnet, and let's see what the spiritual meaning of Garnet is. Also, it's interesting because that was actually in my head earlier today. Right, go ahead and try to hit me if you're able. Can't you see that my relationship is stable? I can see you hate the way we enter. Wait, what is it? What's the song? This is Garnet. Back together. And I'm never going down at the hands of the likes of you because I'm so much better. And everything in me is saying, go get her. The two of us ain't gonna follow your rules. Come at me without any of your fancy tools. Let's go, just me and you. Let's go, just one on two. But she was like, I can see you hate the way we intermingle, but I think you just mad because you single. I was like, oh, snap. Oh, snap. And she was mad that she was single. And then she had to force a fusion with somebody else, and then that person actually ended up using their power to entrap them. And that was her whole story arc for a minute. It was all about forcing fusions with unwilling participants because she lost to the power of these two who came together as one and kicked her butt. And she thought she was unbeatable. She thought she was bad. But teamwork make the dream work, is what they say. And that's why we need to come out of this Nine of Pentacles energy, and why it may not necessarily be as supported energetically as it was in the past, because teamwork make the dream work. And we trying to make a whole bunch of dreams come to life right now with the star card. But we also got to show up in our own authenticity, and we also need to work through our own darkness and our own garbage and our own baggage that we've picked up to really show up as a cooperative component, right? So, hey, Garnet, stone meaning, metaphysical properties. There we go. Sure. Ooh, it's this lovely, lovely color. It revitalizes, purifies, and balances energy, bringing serenity or passion as appropriate. Inspires love and devotion. Garnet balances the sex drive and alleviates emotional disharmony. It activates and strengthens the survival instinct, bringing courage and hope. Ooh, oh wow, that's a lot. And I love that message of balance because in the Ten of Wands in this deck, it seems like it's more unbalanced than anything, right? There is a saying about this straw that broke the camel's back, but I don't think that camel's back is broken. I just think it's like there's no balance there, and the camel is like freaking out about it falling. I love the distressed animals in this deck. I don't like it, but their mouths look so funny to me. The way your lip quivers. Made of love, exactly. Made of love. Because I'm made of love. And she was like, what else did she say? Oh, what was it? What is it? What is it? She was like, I know I am even more than the two of them. Everything they care about is who I am. I'm gonna just look at the lyrics because there's a few lines in there that are kind of sort of hitting for me right now. She's like, but I am even more than the two of them. Everything they care about is who I am. I am the fury. I am the patience. I am a conversation. And I am made, made of love, garnet, lyrics. Look it up. Steven Universe. It's a pretty awesome show. Lyrics. Because she was like, because you think that you've seen what I'm made of, but I am even more than the two of them. Everything they care about is who I am. I am their fury. I am their patience. I am a conversation. And so there is this conversation, you know? It's not just one and it's not just the other. It's something that's greater than the sum of its parts. Let's see. Oh, they just blew the text up for me. Yeah, I can see. I thought that was the words. I can see you hate the way we intermingle. I think you're just mad because you're single. People get real envious. You're not going to stop what we've made together. We are going to stay like this forever. If you break us apart, we'll just come back newer and we'll always be twice the gem that you are. Boom. This is who we are. This is who I am. And if you think you can stop me, then you need to think again because I am a feeling and I will never end and I won't let you hurt my planet and I won't let you hurt my friends. It's a whole song. It's a whole song, y'all. It's a whole song. But I like the message of it because again, it's about coming out of this Nine of Pentacles energy. It's about facing one's own darkness and limitations. And again, it's being a cooperative component so you can create these partnerships, relationships, societies, organizations, councils, governments that are greater than the sum of its parts and that hold a higher mission that is a conversation, right? And it's like a conversation implies that it's not one person dominant or the other person dominant. Conversation implies that everyone is taken account of, but sometimes to be accounted for, you have to speak up. So let's just get into this because, oh snap, look at all these dragonflies in the Five of Wands. Now, dragonflies speak to ancient knowledge and ancient wisdom and stuff like that. Five of Wands is a card of conflict. Oh, goodness. The Ten of Swords. It's all these swords. Oh, snap. Hold up. What the freak is this? Is this like some kind of salamander? I was going to say it's a snake, but this thing still got arms and legs. Oh, snap. Well, here's that snake. There's the snake that we were talking about, and then there's the 10 swords. That's why mongoose popped to the mongooses. Oh, it's magic. You know. Here is that fox. Here was the fox. When I was talking about the Two of Wands that came out earlier, the foxes that turn themselves into mice to lure the snakes out of the grass. And it's almost a feeling of this like ancient battle. But again, that's what this is because dragonflies are so old. It's like the dragonflies were here when snakes still had arms and legs. And in the Bible, after the whole thing happened at the Garden of Eden, it said that God, I was pretty sure it's everything that happened at the Garden of Eden. God cursed the snake to slither on its belly. And so, snakes actually had arms and legs, appendages. And snakes still have pelvic bones. And it's like, well, why does a snake have a pelvic bone if it never had legs? It's one of those vestigial structures, right? And a vestigial structure is just, it's something in the body, something physiologically that is held on to, even though like the creature has evolved beyond its use, right? Some people would say that like the spleen is kind of sort of a vestigial structure because we can survive without spleens now. We don't really need spleens to live, and I'm sure they do something, but like if you don't have a spleen, you'll be fine. And it's like the pelvic bone in snakes. Like you don't even have legs anymore. Why do you need this pelvic bone? And that's how old this goes back to. Dragonflies, ancient wisdom, ancient fights, ancient fights. Why did this just turn like all the way? Oh snap, Miss Vernell, I missed you. Hey, Miss Vernell. Wow, this is like one of those ancient battle type things. Oh my gosh, it's like a war of good and evil that's been waged on this planet since Adam and Eve ate from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, right? Back since Cain and Abel. Um, and once we know better, we're responsible for doing better. Sereno, oh snap. What's up, Sereno? Y'all are on here late. Y'all on here late. It's so late over here. Is it almost 2 o'clock Eastern? Oh, girl, please. I'm gonna have to be getting to bed pretty soon. But it does kind of sort of have this energy of like an ancient battle of good and evil, talking about the mongoose, the foxes turning themselves into rats and mice to lure the snakes out of the grass so that we can take care of the snakes that are in the grass so that we can decide how we move forward together. And it is about moving forward together. All of that greed and self-interest and self-serving stuff, like it's like we've seen what happens in the world when we're all more concerned with benefiting and furthering our own agendas rather than benefit, benefiting everyone as a whole. And it's like sometimes if we really think about it, when we all play together, it kind of sort of benefits us more than when we fight against each other anyway. But that's something that you got to convince them of. Some people are chilling. You need to be asleep. Yeah, I do too. Well, I hope y'all are well. I don't know if I asked y'all how y'all are doing tonight, but how are y'all doing tonight, Miss Vernell and Sereno? But yeah, that's and so the star here, it's almost this energy of like we all have a role to play. And if you can't see yourself, if you don't know yourself, then how do you know what your role is? But there's also with the hermit and with the star, it's like it's time to begin to shine your inner light outwards, and it's time to let people see that. It's time to open up the lantern. Judgment and justice. So yeah, excuse me. You're fine. I am excellent, Sereno. Thank you for asking. I've been pretty good and I'm doing even better. I'm starting to move on some stuff that honestly I should have been moving on a long time ago. And I am finding that things are flowing so much because I'm doing what I should have been doing. And the Two of Cups at the bottom of the deck. Oh, this is Garnet. This is Garnet. And this is the power of love to overcome even the most insurmountable of obstacles. Right? Because we're better together than we are all apart. All of us. That's why there are so many campaigns of division. Right? Because it's like, I don't know, if we kind of sort of wisen up a little bit, we kind of sort of realize that we're not each other's enemy. Thank you. It is. But I still got a lot of stuff to be doing. So it's not like I can take it easy or take a break. It's just time to start doing all the stuff I know I should be doing. Should have been doing. That's so interesting. I didn't expect all of that. What do I expect when I do any of this? I don't know. The hermits and the wise men. Yep. Have a good night, Serena. Thanks for stopping by. Maybe one day it won't be so late. I'm so excited for tomorrow. I can't wait until this thing comes in. I'm like, yes. I'm expecting a few things tomorrow. Okay. Now, I don't get a final card in this deck because this deck is all about limitation. So I don't really see a point in it. Personally. What's this? The Five of Cups. Oh, wow. That's rough. In this deck, every single cup is spilled. All 5 cups are spilled in this deck. Usually we get, and then there's these, like, what do they call them? Cattails, or what else? What else are they called? I don't know. I don't remember. Everything I'm reading is general, Miss Vernell. It's not for anyone in particular. It's kind of sort of just what came out. But it is interesting because I remember it was a while ago when we were talking about the Potter's house and how and everything that came out then. I don't even remember everything. Also talking about the Israelites going to the Promised Land and how they didn't sort of like take that opportunity when they were led to the Promised Land, and because they didn't, they were forced to wander the desert for 40 years. And then because of what Abraham did, he didn't even get to see the Promised Land. So humility and patience is still a lesson that you can stand to learn. So yep. All right. We're going to be getting the final message from the affirmators. Oh, magical guidance to help you help yourself in a not self-helpy way. Affirmators Tarot for magical guidance from the universe to help you help yourself without the self-helpiness. Okay, that's what it is. So let's get this final card, please. I feel like there's really, it feels like if past lives are something that you believe in, it's definitely an opportunity to come out of a lot of those mistakes that we've kind of sort of repeated after life after life after life. And some of it may have been mistakes that we've repeated life after life. Some of it may be traumas that kind of sort of stick with us. Like I've never really had a reason in this lifetime for why, but I've noticed that I have like this fear with fire, and I don't like fire. I hate ovens because in my mind, it doesn't make sense for me to stick my hand in a box that's literally designed to cook things. And it took me a while to get, like even in chemistry labs, like using the little Bunsen burner, because I had a microbiology lab and like we had to learn how to sterilize things. And so you kind of got to hold it into the fire for a little bit. And it took some getting used to. It's interesting though, because I like fire. I just don't like being around it or in it. I don't like being hot. But it's an opportunity to really kind of sort of like let a lot of that stuff go, or to work through it, or to see it in a different way, because it's almost like those are the doors behind which our purpose lies. Kind of sort of lies beyond the difficulty. beyond your comfort zone. And again, it ain't necessarily to be reckless, but it's to begin to put ourselves in a place of power, to connect to our own truth. And if you're like Nine of Pentacles, short up, invulnerable, then it makes it very hard to tap into it. It makes it harder to find. So. All right, final message. And that's another thing that I feel like I've been noticing since March because of dreams and other things in my own personal life. I was like, wait, I feel like I've made this mistake before. And the solution for me was self-love and not tying so much of my happiness into another person, regardless of how ridiculously happy they make me. Because I feel like it kind of sort of led me to do things that I shouldn't have, or to not do things that I should have, or to turn a blind eye and overlook certain things. And it kind of sort of, it kept me away from me. And since I handled the approach a little bit differently this time, and I feel like also I wasn't really the type of person to use my voice. I haven't been in this lifetime either, because I always be like, oh, well, it's not any of my business. Oh, it's not my life, right? It's not anything I have to do. But also I'm finding just lots of stuff. And Casey asked me the other day about like what my purpose was or how I found my purpose or something like that. Because I talked about, so I have my Venus in Aries, my Chiron is in Leo, and my North Node is in Sagittarius. And so I said, whenever I'm acting from a healed space and whenever I'm on like mission or whenever I'm fulfilling my purpose, it activates this grand fire trine in my chart. And that's when she was like, well, what's your purpose? Or like, how do you know? Honestly, for me, it's been related to the things that grow me that I'm uncomfortable with. And a lot of it is tied to my Chiron and Leo, where it's like, oh, I don't want to be seen like this. I don't want to have to do this for people. I don't want my name to be out there. I don't want any kind of status or anything like that. And that's another reason why it just like rubs me all the way the wrong way when I see people like, I've been waiting for your guidance. We've been waiting for your guidance. I've been waiting for this video. And like, I anticipate videos, sure, because I like watching them. There are certain people I love to watch. Two of Cups. But it's like, I don't know. I don't want to be anyone's like sole source of anything, because I'm not here for that. Like, I don't mind helping, especially if we're friends. I would love to, but that's a lot of weight to put on another human's shoulders, right? That's why we need to learn to take it to God, into spirit, into our guides. Exactly, Miss Burnell. Exactly. And then you check. And that's what because when you're in a larger vehicle as well, the blind spots get larger. And I did some van training, even though I didn't drive, but I just did it. And they're like, in a van, your blind spots are greater than they were if you were in a smaller car. And if you're in a semi, your blind spots are even bigger. And that's why sometimes, if you got a car driving next to a semi and they start signaling over and they don't see you and they start to turn, it's like, because you're in that blind spot. So it's almost like the greater the calling, potentially, the greater the calling on your life, the greater the blind spot. The more that you're meant to do, the greater the blind spot. Or the easier it is to seek comfort. Maybe, I don't know. I think there was something there. That's what I love going live, the collaboration. Okay. So I'll read them. Why not? So the Two of Cups and the Seven of Pentacles. There's a bee. There are some bees holding a watering can. Bees do so much. Bees do so much. These bees are pollinating the flowers and they're watering the flowers. Girl, these bees are like, oh, it's reminding me in the Bible somewhere. It's like, if you don't praise him, the rocks will praise him. It's like the bees are like, if y'all ain't gonna take care of the planet, we'll take care of the planet. We'll water the flowers. We'll pollinate the flowers. We'll do it all. Because those who are in a position those who have the responsibility to do it aren't doing it, and someone has to do it. It got to get done somehow. And you best believe that something's going to find a way to get done, whether you do it or not. Bottom of the deck is that Queen of Swords. We have the heart. We have the solar plexus and I don't know. I would say that's, I don't know if this is the throat or the third eye. I think would be the third eye. I think there's a lighter blue. I think there are lighter blues in the deck. So the solar plexus is the sunshine. And that's the star that was in the lantern. That's us speaking and living our truth. And then when we speak and live in our truth, I feel like there are a lot of woes in the heart and in the mind that come when we're not in that space of acting from a place of authenticity. And this is all about growing that bond that we have with ourselves, within ourselves, and getting closer and closer and closer to the divine. Okay. And there are seahorses here. I can't tell if these seahorses are pregnant or not. Their bellies are looking a little bit full. And with seahorses, it's the males that actually carry the babies, right? And then they burst out of the stomach, and I think it kills the male. But let's leave that. It's the masculine energy that carries life and that bears life instead of the feminine energy. And so there is almost this reversal of roles, but it almost feels like an unreversal. Like the roles were reversed or things were misconstrued a long time ago. And that's why we have that sort of like that dragonfly and snake and fox type energy. It's almost about fixing these things that have been so wrong for so long. And again, it's like when you cultivate that within yourself, it kind of sort of reaches a point where you don't really need someone else to tell you what it is that you kind of sort of already know holds true for you. And what holds true for you may not necessarily hold true for someone else. But that's when that's what makes it work at its best. When we all have the ability, the freedom to act in authenticity, that's when you get these conversations, right? And it's going to be these conversations that plant the seeds that are the seeds, that water the seeds, that pollinate the resulting flowers to continue to spread the seeds. Like that's going to be how we grow as a collective together. Yeah. So let's read the Two of Cups and the Seven of Pentacles, I guess, because why not? Cups. The Two of Cups. The Two of Cups carries two most excellent words. No, not mutual attraction, equal participation. Girl, I can't say that word. I mean, I can say that word, but why they got all these cuss words in here? So this isn't about mutual attraction. It's about equal participation. And I love that because that's kind of sort of what I've been talking about, right? But we can't participate as equals when we don't even give ourselves the permission to use our voice or to step into our authenticity or to genuinely shine, or when we don't allow other people that opportunity either. And sometimes we don't allow other people the opportunity to do that because we haven't found it within ourselves, or we don't allow it within ourselves. I'm gonna start over. The Two of Cups carries two most excellent words. No, not. Wait. Hold up. I skipped a whole line. I'm glad I decided to go back to the beginning. Hold up. Hold up. That completely changes the whole message. But it still stands. But we can put it together, okay? The Two of Cups carries two most excellent words. No, not free trial. Yes, even better, requited love. This is a card of mutual attraction, equal participation, and a hecka harmonious partnership. If romance isn't relevant, this could also relate to a business or creative partnership. In any case, it's a match. Now go find a field and shoot that saccharine. Wait, what? Now go find a field and shoot that saccharine but uplifting montage, or just commence your nonstop texting. What does that mean? Saccharine but uplifting? I know saccharin is like it's sweet, right? It's like related to a sugar, but uplifting montage. Okay. Well, it's talking about filming something. Oh, is that like, two people sort of like running through a field, like smiling and laughing? And okay, I get it. The affirmation here is I am worthy of interpersonal relationships that are balanced, healthy, and on the level. What? And on the level. Oh, that's equal give and take, right? It's level instead of being unlevel. All right. The words they use sometimes. It's a relief to meet someone who speaks my very specific borderline alien language. Again, I am worthy of interpersonal relationships that are balanced, healthy, and on the level. It's a relief to meet someone who speaks my very specific borderline alien language. And now we're going to come down to the Seven of Pennies to read that, and then I'll close it up for you. Consider this your reminder that in order to glean big harvests, you need to do a lot of planting. And once you've done your planting, those plants need a lot of care. If that's too much metaphor for you, how about this? Work hard, stick with it, and good things will come. Don't believe it? Look back on everything you've planted over the years and check out how much corn is growing, or beans, or whatever you're into. The Seven of Pentacles is proof that we invest now, that what we invest now will grow a big harvest in the future. Trust that it will be worth the work, especially if you're in the planting business. The affirmation here is I make sacrifices now, knowing that I'll thank myself later. Still waiting for that time traveling thank you note. Low key, when I was little, I had this one phone that I thought I would have forever. And on my birthday, I put in the calendar, I made an event, and I made it repeat every single year. So on my birthday, and I probably don't even need the phone anymore because I did that for so long and I still remember that I did it. Anyway, basically, let me finish the story. On my birthday, I set up a reminder to come back in time and to give myself something or to save myself or whatever, right? That way, if time travel is ever possible, if I just so happen to have that phone, I would get the reminder to come back for me, to come back for myself. And it was interesting that they mentioned a time traveling thank you note because it's like, we'll thank ourselves later, but knowing that we'll thank ourselves later doesn't necessarily make it any easier to deal with in the present. Um, but it's all about doing the things today, which is kind of sort of what I said with the Mars retrograde thing. It's about doing the things that will benefit you and grow you today so that when tomorrow comes, you already have it there. Right. And like the last time I saw, what is this? The last time I saw or one of the times I saw the Seven of Pentacles, it was like, if you wait until you're hungry to plant seeds, you're going to be hungry for a very, very, very long time because it takes time. It takes many seasons for a seed to grow into something that is ripe and ready to be harvested. And when we're in this season of continuously planting seeds, then we can come into these seasons of continuously harvesting. And it's like if you wait until you need something to try to get it, it's almost too late. So it is about being a little bit proactive. And it is about also like open and honest communication and vulnerability and acceptance and healthy boundaries. And because it's like not everything is worth growing, not everything is worth pouring into, right? Um, I mean, like good and evil are necessary in the world, sure, but it's like I'm not going to go out there and like purposefully feed my good plants to the weeds so that the weeds can grow. It's like, no, right? Tend to the plant, neglect the weeds. Maybe even like take care of the weeds, like uproot them, right? Go somewhere else. This isn't your space. This isn't a space for you. Um, but it's about all of that. And it's also about honoring the self and honoring others. And it's this interesting dynamic, right? Of again honoring ourselves and honoring others. And when we honor ourselves, there are when we honor ourselves, it changes the conversation with other people because it's almost like it gives us a voice in that conversation, right? Instead of us just passively listening to what everyone else is saying, or on the flip side, instead of just sort of like being so loud and obnoxious that no one else can get a word in, it's about equaling it out, right? On level, it's about being level so that there can be an actual exchange. So that's what I got for y'all. I know it's super late. It's been like an hour and a half almost. I did not expect it, but I do like that. I do. I had a feeling that I would love how those two decks intermingle with each other because when I did the deck reading, it's like one of them covered what the other one was not lacking, but what it wasn't, what it told me it wasn't intended for, right? We all have our own strengths and weaknesses. And when we come out of a space of ego, we can seek out those who have strengths that complement our strengths, but also who have strengths that sort of compensate for our weaknesses and where we have strengths that compensate for their weaknesses. And if we're two in that nine of pentacles, two in that sort of standalone type energy, it may have us a little bit insecure to um, interact with someone who has a strength that compensates for a weakness that we have, right? Because then we may just look more at our own weakness than we would celebrate the fact that we found someone who can cover a base that we can't cover. It's not for one person to do it all or for one group of people to do it all. It's for us to all be a part of the conversation, right? So lots and lots. And that's why a lot of this healing is necessary. That's why a lot of us are looking at our own personal lives and we've all been living without a lot of the distraction. It's like things are kind of sort of returning to, and it's interesting because it's like more or less things are kind of sort of starting to return to normal. More and more and more things are starting to open, but it seems that like as more things open, if we haven't addressed whatever we need to address within ourselves, it's starting to like lash out. And I think a lot of people were kind of sort of waiting for things to start again so that they can go back to distracting themselves. But now it's like the distractions aren't even working because you now know what you know. And for it to continue to remain unaddressed is for it to continue to cause more and more and more tension within the self. So it's really interesting. But Miss Vernell, I have no clue. I have absolutely no clue. I don't really follow a schedule. It's kind of sort of like if I feel it, I come on. I'm in the process of doing a lot of stuff in my own personal life. There's a virtual career fair, like one of the biggest career fairs on campus, that is next Monday and Tuesday. There's some stuff in my personal life that I'm getting together. I'm trying to get everything in my life together so I can move and start doing all the things that I want to do. Also, I'm finishing schoolwork right now. So it's kind of sort of like whenever I pop on, unfortunately. Um, yeah, so I can't give you a straight up answer for that. But honestly, I might be on tomorrow sometime between noon and 3 p.m. Central because when my package arrives tomorrow, I'm gonna come live. I'm gonna come live. So I'll be on, and it should be here tomorrow. So whenever it's delivered, I'll be on actually. Um, so yeah, between noon and 3 or 4 Central, I'll probably be on here playing with that. I can't wait. So thank everyone for stopping by. I hope everyone has a good whatever whenever you see this. If it is the evening time for you, as it